Hey guys, welcome to Verdicks. Verdicks is the result of a very inebriated Zoom call between me and my best friends where we kind of just had this idea to put our own spin on what we are calling Verdicks, which is basically where we provide feedback on either product reviews like we're going to do today, settle a dude feud, or just basic ideas of welcoming you into our tribe and trying to make everyone around us that's part of our tribe, whether you're local, far, wherever you are joining us or watching us from, just kind of bring everybody up, make everybody a better person, and use our own personal experiences and mistakes and ideas and things that we've learned along the way as we basically make it up as we go along. We're just a bunch of average dudes just doing the best that we can. We know a little bit about a lot of things, just enough to be dangerous, but we are not experts in anything. So, what you're going to see here today is basically my take on the Barista Touch, which I recently got. So, welcome to the channel. And if you like what you see here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button because we're hopefully going to be doing a lot more of these in the future. And welcome to the tribe. All right, so why did I get this machine? I'm a big coffee drinker, but I was a, normal coffee drinker up until I experienced what I guess would consider, true good coffee. It's almost like if you grew up on, say, Jim Beam or Crown Royal or something like that, which is no knock to those drinks, but then you have your first sip of like a Macallan or like a Japanese whiskey, right? When you have something that is just several steps above and you realize what you're missing out on, you kind of find it hard to go back. And that's what I was doing, just normal beans, normal drip coffee. And it was good, it woke me up, and everything was okay until me and my better half, the missus, took a honeymoon overseas. And, overseas, just like they have great wine over in Italy, basically everywhere you go over there is fresh espresso, and the espresso that you get around here, the beans can be old, the people cannot know what they're doing, and basically when I came back from the honeymoon, I took that love of the espresso with me, and I always wanted to get a real nice espresso machine. And so for me, I didn't have any of the grinder, I didn't have the scale, I didn't really basically have anything. So the machine that I got, I wanted to be all inclusive, which is why I got the machine that I did. If you have a grinder and you have some of the other equipment, you definitely don't have to get this machine. They make machines like the Bambino Plus, which our buddy Joe got, which I'm sure you'll be seeing a video from him in the near future. That one is less expensive, but it doesn't have the built-in grinder and some of the gadgets or technological advances that this one might have. But again, for me, this was the right choice because, I knew I needed the built-in grinder and some of the other stuff, and I just wanted to make it easier, and this seemed like the machine to get. So first things first, I want to do a quick side comparison to the machine that I was using, because one of the big pluses of this machine is that it doesn't take up a big footprint on your counter like some of the other machines will. Okay, so what you're seeing right here is my old coffee machine, which is the Ninja, and this makes a great cup of coffee. But again, just a regular drip machine that will do your normal coffee. And this, of course, right here is the Barista Touch, which we'll be talking about today. You'll notice that they're basically the same exact size. The Barista Touch is a little bit wider, but of course, I think that's to be expected given that it is a full-blown espresso machine versus a normal drip coffee. And so, one of the big pluses, like I said, is that the footprint for this on your counter space is basically minimal compared to what you may already have and be using. So most espresso machines, or a lot of the espresso machines, are giant monstrosities that may not even fit under your cabinet, or just take up way too much space if, say, you're in a small apartment or, just a smaller home where you don't have the counter space to give up. This is where the Barista Touch kind of comes in, and it is a fantastic option to get a lot of versatility and the ability to make great espresso with not taking up a ton of space. All right, so the machine itself. what we just showed you. Not a lot in addition to that. Basically, you get your tamp with it, which is going to go into your 54 millimeter portafilter. This is what you apply the pressure to the espresso beans with. It is a sprouted portafilter, not a bottomless or a naked portafilter, which is kind of the end-all be-all for espresso as far as I have learned. The naked one is going to tell you how good of a pour you're really doing and allow you to get more cream, whereas this one is kind of the new beginner's guide. This tamp, in my opinion, is pretty much garbage. It does not feel good. It is not heavy, and so it's kind of convenient that it has a little magnetic thing here that you can kind of hide it away with. I will not use this again. I went ahead and upgraded to a different portafilter, or not portafilter, a different tamp. This one's got a lot of weight to it. It's got the leveling agent and the tamping on the one side. It's a lot heavier, it's a lot easier to use, and as one of the most important steps that I've learned in making good espresso, this is invaluable. The one that it comes with, not that great. What else do we have here? We've got the frothing wand, which kind of self-cleans when you're done. So when you're done doing your milk and you put it down, it'll automatically discharge hot water out of it so that it doesn't get clogged, which is another pretty awesome feature. It has this sensor for the milk, which basically, when you set what kind of milk you want, what level of froth you want, what temperature you want, that's how it knows how much froth there is and what the temperature is. So that's really cool. Again, really easy to use, which is what I was looking for. You've got your drip tray that you can pull out and clean. You've got your cleaning tools that kind of hide away, stash away, kind of cool there in the back. And then basically you've got your hopper up here for your fresh coffee beans. Does not come with glasses. Had to get those myself. But, you know, kind of a nice double wall cappuccino or espresso glass is nice to have when you start making it. You don't really want to use a normal coffee mug because one of the big things with espresso is heat. In terms of what I have found out, again, being a total newbie, you know, you want to maintain that heat so that the coffee and espresso is nice and fresh. So let's pull a shot, right? Let's see how this thing goes, right? One of the big selling points of this is how fast it heats up. Turn it on. Ready to go, right? I think they say 3 seconds, which is pretty accurate. It heats up extremely fast. I think it's called thermojet, which is what they have it as. What I'm gonna do here real quick, show you just real quick here. These are all the different drinks you can make, right? You've got espresso, Americano, latte, flat white, cappuccino, hot milk, and then you can kind of do your own, where you can dial in exactly what you want. How many seconds do you want the grinder to go? At what grind do you want it to be? At what temperature do you want it to be? What do you want your milk to be at? Right, so I kind of, when you get your espresso machine, there are a lot of places, a lot of forums where they kind of help you dial in your espresso in terms of the grind, the length, and I won't get into the science of it here because it's, again, way beyond me. I just know that it tastes good for me with what I did and the tips that I read, and so that's how I've been brewing my shots, and I think it's pretty good. One thing I do is just make sure I get some hot water out first, just so that I know that the temperature throughout is going to be completely consistent. I don't want any cold water kind of in the front end of this. I don't want anything that was maybe in the system that didn't get a chance to get heated up to exactly where I wanted it to be. And also it gives me a chance to kind of heat that glass up a little bit. Again, this is how I do it. It could be completely wrong. I could post this video to Reddit and hang on 1 second. So I could post this thing to Reddit, and basically the coffee gods and experts there could critique exactly what I'm doing and tell me that I am way off, which is cool. However, what I'm doing and how I'm making it tastes good to me, and that's how I'm going to keep doing it. So I've got my grind in there. I'm going to level this off, tamp it, Make sure everything looks good. Clear out these edges a bit. Pop that bad boy right on there. And clear this cup. Made a mess. Put that down in there and we will brew. Okay, so to me, that's a pretty good shot of espresso. It's about 18 grams of beans. This is going to be about 36 grams of espresso with a nice cream on top. Let me go get some milk and I'll show you how the milk function works. All right, filled this up with some fresh milk, nice and cold. All you got to do here, pop this in, put it on top of the little sensor that we talked about. Hit the milk button. And it'll do its thing. So I have this set to a level of 3. And the milk will be 150 degrees when it is all done. All of this is done completely automatic. Now you can't really see it, but this is reading about 105 degrees right now. 110, 120, 130, 140, 150 degrees. And there we go. All done. Pull this out. Give it a quick little wipe. And then you're going to see what I was talking about. I push this down, and right here it's going to clear itself out. It's going to shoot a little bit of water out. And there you have it. That's so that the milk doesn't get stuck in there. Okay, take this. Again, no idea how to do this fancy art stuff, but I know it tastes good. Get my milk in there. Got a nice little latte. Tastes pretty good. Tastes great for me. Pretty simple, pretty easy process. If you've got no idea what you're doing with espresso, this machine really kind of helps you walk you through it. And any of the other fine-tuning, more nitty-gritty type stuff, there's plenty of forums like Espresso on Reddit. There's a subreddit called Espresso where people can help you dial this thing with how you need it to be. Basically, the things that you're going to be looking for are the coarseness and fineness of your grinds for the hopper, which is real easy on the side of here. Mine's set to a 16, and I believe the inside is set to a 4. So you can kind of dial those in to make it finer, more coarse, depending on the type of espresso that you're pulling, if it's good or if it's not good. And all in all, I think this is a fantastic machine. My only kind of gripes are that, again, tamp stinks. I think for the money, you should get a naked porta-filter. I don't think that should be a separate accessory that you have to buy. And of course, kind of the one thing that's kind of always annoying on these machines is access to the water filter, but this one has a nice big one on the back. So you kind of can fill it and set it and forget it and make a bunch of espressos before you have to fill it again. The one word of warning is that espresso is kind of a black hole to fall down, right? I mean, you can spend a lot of money and get some cool accessories, right? You got your knot box, you've got your cool tamp, you've got your piece that goes on top of the porta-filter so that you don't spill any of the coffee beans, right? You can spend a lot of money doing this if you really want to. I'm very happy with this setup. I'm very happy with this machine. I love the espresso that it makes. And, you know, again, if you don't have any of the grinders or any of the other stuff in your repertoire already, I think this is the route to go. But if you do have a grinder and you do have some of these other pieces of equipment kind of at your house for the coffee that you currently are drinking, save the money, go for something like the Bambino Plus, which is basically going to do the same exact thing that this machine does, pull a great shot of espresso. It heats up just as fast. It does do the automatic milk thing. Look out for Joe's video when that comes out, and save yourself the money, and yeah, you know, you'll save a good chunk of cash going that route. But if you don't have anything, this thing is great. I love the touchscreen. I love how it makes it easy to dial it in for being a newbie, and I definitely can't complain about the espresso that it makes. All right, guys, so that's the end of the review. Please be kind. That was the very first review I've ever done, ever. So it was definitely challenging, and piecing it together is probably going to be even harder. But, you know, the TLDR for this review is basically the Barista Touch is an awesome machine. There's not too much to complain about in regards to what it does, and it makes barista level, you know, espresso right in your home with very little space. The only downside is it's a bit expensive. But like I said in the video, you know, if you don't have any of the other required parts to make the espresso, it is a one-piece machine that basically takes care of everything for you. However, if you do already have some of those items, I recommend something like the Bambino Plus, which is going to do the exact same thing, but a lot cheaper. So the verdict on this product is definitely buy, with some caveats, which I mentioned previously. Hopefully you guys like the review. If you do, don't forget to hit subscribe, and be on the lookout for some more content from all of us in the future. We are hopefully just getting started. Thanks, guys.